This is going to get a ton of attention. Let me explain. Hall of Fame matters in Major League Baseball. We all pay attention. You watched Ichiro get inducted this past July. It is obviously getting 75% from the writers on your first ballot or within the first 10 years on the ballot. That is heaven. You are the elite of the elite. The Hall of Fame and Major League Baseball have combined to say there are some mistakes that are made by the writers. There are some players who do not make the Hall of Fame who should be Hall of Famers. What do we do about it? And what they do about it is something called the Eras Committees. The Eras Committees are made up of several different committees. The one we want to talk about today is the Contemporary Era Committee. The contemporary baseball era are players who have significantly contributed to the game after 1980. Yes, it makes me feel very happy that we are still contemporaries. The contemporary baseball era player ballot was announced yesterday with some fascinating names on it. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. Let me start with those two. There are 16 people on the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee. 16 people chosen by the Hall of Fame Board. The Hall of Fame Board is a group of people. I just want to read this to you, if you don't mind. And I'm going to look right now because we're live. And I'm going to read to you who are the Hall of Fame board members. And I want to know whether any of them sound familiar to you. Joe Torre, Bill DeWitt, Ken Kendrick, Rob Manfred, Artie Moreno, Jerry Reinsdorf. Any of those names sound familiar? The reason why it interests me to tell you about this is that Major League Baseball is intimately involved in the board of directors of the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. The board of directors chooses who will be on the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee. That committee will meet on December 7th during the winter meetings, 16 of them, made up of executives, made up of players, made up of legends. And they will vote on whether Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens, as two of the members on this ballot, whether they will be Hall of Famers. Of the 16 members, 12 are required to vote for Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens for them to gain induction into the Hall of Fame. They have no chance. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens will not be in the Hall of Fame. They will not be in the plaque room. No matter your view of steroids, no matter your view of the greatness of pre-steroid Bonds and Clemens in theory, they're not going to make it in. What about Carlos Delgado? How could Carlos Delgado have not remained on the Baseball Hall of Fame ballot? How could the writers, and I have great respect and a great relationship with many people who have a vote, how could it have been so wrong? Well, guess what? What this ballot committee does, it tries to right the wrongs. Carlos Delgado, interesting. Don Mattingly, interesting. Gary Sheffield, interesting. Fernando Valenzuela, not a Hall of Famer, but man, what a great story it would be to have him put in posthumously. What will this committee do? Will they allow Dale Murphy and Jeff Kent into the hallowed halls of the plaque room? The reason why this is so newsworthy today is that the steroid era, which is since 1980, quite obviously, is still so raw with baseball owners and baseball commissioner. It is still a bone of angst that does not exist in the zeitgeist of discourse surrounding the Hall of Fame. It's why you have so many people who are good with Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens being in the Hall of Fame. It's why you've got so many people who stand up and say, you know what, everybody's done something. This is not the hall of character. It's not the hall of moral compass. It's the hall of fame, recognizing the best players in baseball, whatever they did, from spitballs to KY jelly, from steroids to uppers to greenies, from juice balls to dead balls, from mound raising to larger first bases. There are always going to be changes within the game. There's always going to be changes of how to react to players and what their accomplishments are and how you measure those accomplishments against the peers. But steroids is different. During meetings that I had within Major League Baseball, during conversations I've had regarding the Hall of Fame vote, it has always been clear to me from minute one that there are certain players who are associated with steroids who will pass. There's certain players who will be looked as Hall of Famers, voted into the Hall of Fame, even with a small amount of steroid taint. There are others who are simply not part of the conversation. Bonds and Clemens are the latter group. Wait to see is when we tell you something's going to happen. If it does, great. If it doesn't, fine. Wait to see, Coca. This is official. The contemporary baseball era player ballot will be heard December 7th. Bonds and Clemens will not be elected into the Hall of Fame. Wait for it. There will be somebody, and his name will be Dale Murphy.